Hello to those of you who are new to my channel. My name is Father Jamie Dennis, located here at Caneyville, Kentucky in Grayson County. Just wanted to give an update and put forth a couple of dreams. I am standing at the back of my train station, and hopefully you can see my narrow gauge locomotive sitting here. And my dad and I built this locomotive and entire railway starting around 1996. And at the moment, I'm in need of some track repairs, so my locomotive is currently out of service. Well, I should say the track is out of service. The locomotive is able to run, even though it needs a little paint job, which hopefully will happen next year. And you can see my little picnic area out here under the train shed. We have about 1.5 miles of track here. And you can also see my train station building, what I call Union Station, and our facilities here. My intention for our farm is to be a place of refuge. And so we've started more or less a retreat center here. Half of this train station building is for model trains and memorabilia of the railroad, and the other half is a gathering space, chapel space, living room space, whatever you want to call it. My hope is that I can bring people here to find God, to be with Him, to have a place of quiet, and to also love trains. I love celebrating the history of trains, and along with that, merging with the idea of God and trains, the idea of pilgrimage. Here is my model train layout, which is still under construction, and my design team is working on it today, doing some cleanup and whatnot. My model train layout is themed around the notion of places I've been on my train journeys. And down here you can see my displays of my railroad memorabilia. Even my little rideable little type train from my childhood. There's a lot of stories being told here. And even though it's decked out for Halloween, here's my gathering space. And we even have an altar over here to celebrate Catholic Mass and other celebrations. But yeah, we love celebrating Halloween, Christmas, and especially Easter here. So we've got it going on here today. We are now out in front of the train station, and you can see my beautiful mountain on the horizon here. We have several miles of hiking trails and a lake. It's a beautiful place. I've lived here my whole life, and it's no fun unless I can share it. And this is my pride and joy. My Illinois Central extended porch caboose, 9671. When I was little, my family and I became members of the Kentucky Railway Museum, and a lot of members of the museum are also employees of the Paducah and Louisville Railroad, which runs through Caneyville here. I had made a comment, I hated seeing cabooses being scrapped. If I could, I'd rescue one and live in it. And thanks to my friends with the Paducah and Louisville Railroad, this caboose coming here was made possible when I was in 7th grade, which was in 1998. In 2004, when I graduated from high school, I started living in the caboose. That was my dream, was to rescue a caboose from being scrapped and make it my home. And it is a wonderful home. Recently, the Knights of Columbus in my county made it possible for this caboose to be repainted and to be cosmetically restored just a few weeks ago, actually. They still have the lettering to put back on it, but it's a nice facelift from being a rust bucket. And I love this caboose very much. So I never imagined when I was little that I would actually get to fulfill this dream of living in a caboose and whatnot. With that said, I still have more dreams. When I was little, I dreamed of being a locomotive engineer, but then I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, which is a degenerative eye condition. I'm now almost totally blind, so my dream of being an engineer was taken from me. However, I'm still a member of the Kentucky Railway Museum, and I do volunteer work for them and spread the word about our museum. And of course, my dad and I started building the narrow gauge railroad, which has helped to fulfill some of that dream of being an engineer. And of course, being at the train museum, I've had the opportunity when I was little to be at the throttle of a few locomotives, so I've had that experience. And I now use my love of trains as part of my ministry. So I give retreats here on the farm, and I've also given them at the train museum, especially my pilgrimage retreat. A couple weeks ago, I gave a retreat based on the Murder on the Orient Express. Agatha Christie was a Catholic author, and there's Christian themes sprinkled throughout her writings. So we took advantage of that and used that for our parish staff retreat. And I plan on offering that retreat to others in the future. My next dream, as I mentioned, I hope that this farm will be a retreat center, and is starting to function as one already. But one piece that I can't do at this time, I can't do overnight retreats because I have no lodging. So there's quite a bit of space between the caboose and my parents' log house where they live. And so my dream is, I would love to find either a passenger car or another caboose to use as lodging. Ultimately, my big dream would be to find a locomotive that has been mechanically stripped of all of its mechanisms, the diesel generator and all those things, basically an engine that's going to be scrapped. And I would love to have something like that here, coupled to the caboose, and use it for guest rooms, for retreats. So that's my dream for the future. But I just wanted to share that with you all, and just to give you this update on a few things. Because it's always good to have a dream and a direction to go in. This place will never be finished. Those of you who have followed the work on my model train layout, you've watched that grow and progress along with other things, and watched the caboose through its restoration process. So I'm hoping for many more fun things in the future. And I welcome any and all help and contributions to that dream. People love bringing railroad artifacts for my little museum, and I take those. I appreciate them because each one has a story to tell. So that's what's going on here. I hope y'all have a blessed rest of your day, and dream with me, and let's continue on this pilgrimage, on this train trip towards our heavenly homeland. God bless you.